So I've noticed as well that there've been a lot less YouTube videos out there recently. A lot less people vlogging, and not just people motor vlogging either. I've noticed the sort of people I'm following are not all motor vloggers. I do like to follow some other channels, and a couple of channels worth mentioning. It might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I kind of find these guys interesting. They're not into motorbikes at all, but a couple of channels I was going to mention today, just in case you might want to go and see them. And you might think, what the hell, you know, they're not my thing, but I really enjoy watching these guys. It's kind of a document of their lives and what they're doing and what their values are, and it's kind of a day-to-day kind of view on their lives. His first channel is Rickvanman, Rickvanman. Rick has a whole host of things that he does. He's into trying to sort of discover, I think, the kind of the more peaceful side of life, and is at the same time, from what I can see and hear in his videos, he's very much trying to discover an alternative way of life to the rat race that we all find ourselves in, and so far he seems to have been very successful. He's into relaxation, he's into building camper vans, he's into the whole herbalism thing. He's trying to work out how to eat the best raw foods to get the best diet. He's been sort of contemplating vegetarianism but hasn't quite got there. And so it's worth just having a quick look, see if you're interested in his channel. The other channel I was going to mention is a guy called Warblesonalot. Warblesonalot, Warblesonalot. Now this guy, he's based out in Australia, sort of I think near to Queensland, Australia, and he is basically, as he describes himself, a hillbilly mad scientist. He basically has a kind of a lifestyle which in many ways I suppose many of the guys who probably watch this wouldn't mind having to some degree, because he lives out in the sticks. He's got what he refers to as a wildlife sanctuary. He basically has a tin shed kind of building which he lives in up in the hills above the town, which is called Glen Innes, where he lives near. And he basically lives in this sort of shack which he lives in, and because of course the weather's usually warmer out there in Australia, he doesn't suffer a great deal from doing that. The great thing is he's very, very close to all the wildlife, so the swamp wallabies, the kangaroos, various birds and snakes and spiders and things that there are in Australia seem to come and visit him because he feeds them, so that's quite interesting. And also he's got this kind of project which he's trying to discover how to use solar power to try and reduce the fuel usage on cars, which he calls the Sunfoil project. And it's certainly worth a watch if you've not seen anything quite like that. I think he's certainly a character as well. He's certainly not boring. He expresses his opinions on various things very, very forthrightly, and if anybody pisses him off, he certainly tells them that they piss him off. So it can be quite an entertaining viewing as well. But again, might not be your cup of tea, but if you get a chance, do go and have a look at both Rickvanman and Warblesonalot, two channels that I quite like to watch. In addition to that, more recently I have been watching, got another bike behind me now, I don't know what bike it is. More recently I have been watching much more of Navy Thomas 8. He's another motor vlogger in the States, and he's got a sort of a circle of friends out there who I've also been subscribing to in the last day or so. I'm going to start watching some of their channels as well. And they've got a bit of a humorous thing they do on a Friday called the Friday Show. There goes a biker of some kind. I don't know quite what bike that was actually. But off he goes. There's a speed camera there. That's why I'm just watching out, because I'm not going too fast here, because there's lots and lots of speed cameras, and I've recently got a ticket in the van for going through a red light. And the reason I went through the bloody red light was it wasn't red when I went through it, it was amber, but I had the trailer on the back of the van. I'd been to the tip, and the trailer must have given the impression that the vehicle was longer, because obviously it has a registration number on the back of the trailer as well. And that must have triggered the camera, so even though the nose of the van had gone through whilst the light was still amber, it seemed to somehow manage to catch me out and get a picture of me going through because of the trailer, I can only assume. So anyway, that's a lot of the stuff, boring shit that I've been doing in the last month or two. I haven't done a huge amount on the bike, to be honest. I kind of spent more time just trying to get various other things in order. Work is incredibly busy right now, and I have a project which is going live in December, so as the countdown starts to happen and things start to be prepared for implementation, it's obviously a very busy time for me, so I unfortunately don't get a lot of time to do stuff for myself, but I guess that's the nature of the job. Crikey, there are some very, very steep roads around here going out towards Howarth. In fact, I remember one of these coming the other way. This is steep actually. You can't probably tell whatsoever on the camera just how steep this hill is, but in addition to it being steep, it's also quite bendy, as you can see there. But actually there are some roads going the other way, one of which I came up on when I had the phaser. One of the roads that I came up the other way. Let me just check what I'm doing here. I've got to go right here, it says. Oh, left, make your mind up. Crikey, GPS is making different decisions. Don't think we're far away from Howarth now, actually. I think we're almost there, so let's see what's what. Yes, we are. Pretty much, I think. Might be wrong, but we're pretty much nearly there. So now we're going up a very steep hill the other way. Ah, right. So now we need to find somewhere to park. Seeing as, crikey. So where the hell do we go here then now to park? Park there on the right somewhere. Let's have a little look at that. Is there a space at the end there? Yes, there is. Delightful.